So we are recording for YouTube. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now we've all learned magic in different ways. Most people might have walked around a store, maybe in Covent Garden or Camden Town, and had somebody sell magic to them. So today's conversation is all about selling magic. Now these are friends of mine, obviously people who follow my channel, and they're going to talk about what they do and their experience in selling magic. So maybe some of you younger magicians might have even saw them at Harrods or Hamleys or for Matin's case, even in Camden Town. And I'm going to tell you a little about how I got into selling magic and everything. Nathan's going to do a little more demonstrations, but first things first, let's get a small little introduction about yourselves, and maybe let's keep it selling related. So try to talk about how you got into sales, and then I will ask you questions and we'll take it from there. So let's start with Nathan first. He's a regular on the channel. So go ahead, Nathan.
Been a while, and since then I've changed to a goatee for now. But yeah, I'm Nathan. So as you know, I'm a street performer and magician, and also have been doing Marvin's Magic since I started back in 2015 and did it as a summer job from like June to September. And then I did it full time after university from 2016 to 2018. So about just 2.5 years was with the company for about 3 years or so. So yeah, that's my experience with sales or pitching and such, like pitching magic.
Okay, let's go to Matin next. Another regular on the channel.
Yeah, I'm Martin. I've been working with Michael in Camden Town nearly like 5-6 years now. And I've done a little bit street performance, a little bit, but more how to sell magic properly, because most people, they get confused what is selling magic. You're not basically selling the magic, you're selling yourself.
Yeah, we'll go into more details about how the tips and tricks and how we sell things.
Nice.
But thanks for the introduction. Let's go with Alex next. It's the first time on the channel.
Hi, my name's Alex Lodge. I've been a professional magician for the past 25-30 years. I started my career in Hamley's toy shop, working for Marvin's Magic, and then went on to work in Harrods. I can give you my advice if you're a young magician or any age magician looking to work as a professional magician. Working in retail is a great opportunity to enhance your skills and get used to selling magic.
That's very good advice. And I think the same, because if you're working in a shop alongside magic, you're doing this all day. So why not have a better job than actually working kind of like a 9-to-5, but also with magic? Nathan, let's start off with some of your demonstrations, and then we'll do a little Q&A. We'll cut you not halfway through your demonstration, but after you finish your demonstration, we can just take the conversation from there. So Nathan, go ahead. The stage is yours. Do try and sell us something. What would you like to sell us now?
Sure. Well, seeing as that the whole channel is about magic for the most part, and this basically, I want to say a few things. That when you become a demonstrator or you're pitching things, you are a salesperson. You're not a magician as such. So the whole point when you're demonstrating things is to make sure that everything looks easy, because the tricks and everything are designed for kids and beginners to get into magic. So when I was working in Harrods, which is what I mostly did, and I've also worked in Selfridges. There was another toy shop called the Toy Store on Oxford Street. It's no longer there now. I worked in Selfridges. And yeah, I did a few shifts in Hamleys as well, and the Entertainer toy shop too. So the whole point is you're selling generally to the general public. You're not targeting magicians as such, where you're selling them advanced tricks. So everything generally is designed for people who've never done magic before. But when I first started actually doing demonstrations, you might have noticed this is the magic drawing board from Marvin's Magic. And this is actually the first product I learned and got trained on, because it taught me how to sell. Like it kind of made me lose my status as a magician. In terms of like, if I had just learned like the Svengali cards or the dynamic coins first, like I probably wouldn't have learned to sell as well. But anyway, I'm going to go into this demonstration because that's why you've got me up, and you're going to see why. You know, it's a sales pitch essentially. But yeah, obviously you make it nice and entertaining, so hopefully people will buy your product. Anyway, so this is the magic drawing board, and for those of you that don't know, it's actually the only toy in the world that you can draw with absolutely anything. Now I've got a stylus here that actually comes in the package. You just touch and draw, just like this. You can even use your nails to draw, your fingertips, anything you want, could just draw straight on top of your magic drawing board, just like so. And when you're done, all you do is take the flat side of your stylus or your flat side of your phone or anything, and just wipe it top to bottom. You go edge to edge, side to side, and then the board is clear again. So as I say, you can write, draw, you can use them as notice boards, Also great for Christmas presents and souvenirs, anything you like. And yeah, as you can see, this is actually the dancing ladies, just like that, live in a concert. But this is where it gets really, really cool now, right? You can actually take any piece of paper. Now, you can print anything from the internet you want, tear it out from magazines. Just take your piece of paper, place it over top of the board, and just follow the lines. That's all you have to do. Just like tracing paper, but without the mess and the pencils. Just go over the lines, just touch, you use your fingertips, anything will give you a perfect picture every time. And again, if you make a mistake, not to worry, just chop the bits you don't want, and very clearly you can just go over the bits you do, and that's how you can change your drawing around anytime you like. There you go. It's the Magic Drawing Board. They're available, I think, from Hamleys. Harrods for £15, I believe. I think that's how much they retail for now. But anyway, you can help yourselves when the stores open up. I'm sure you can buy them online as well. But yeah, there you go. That's the Magic Drawing Board.
Great. So that's a proper script then you're working with. Have you been taught that at Hamleys or Harrods or?
Well, it's in a sense you are. I mean, you're given basically a guidance on what to say. Obviously, you use your personality and your character. Because I think if you say something like virus and it sounds very scripted, then it just sounds like you've rehearsed it. But the point is to engage with. Obviously, we don't have anybody here to engage with. But as long as you engage with the customer, and as long as you make it good, and the fact that people will, buy your product, so you have to sell it. That's what it is. It's all. Yeah, you're a salesperson.
So the first thing is you make a lot of noise. How do you attract people to there? These are people who are passing by, just walking around looking for things?
Yeah, like as they walk by your stand, then you bring them over. You say, "Come and check it out, guys," or just interact with them. "Hey, have you seen this yet?" Anything you like, just to get it, and hopefully you get a crowd of people to gather around you, and that way you can get them. And then you hand out the product to them like this too. So you get them to take
let them touch and feel this.
They can hold it in their hand, get a feel for it. Yeah, absolutely.
And do you talk about the money, or is that later when they are interested?
So at the end, you say they're however much they are. They're £15. Help yourself whenever you like. You can pay anywhere in the store.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. So you're not actually selling it. You're just a demonstrator, and then the sales people. Well, not sales, but people who actually.
You don't work on the cashiers as such.
Right.
You don't do
okay.
that.
Well, actually, that's different for Matin, because Matin, you have to be the cashier. The person who demonstrates. Pretty much, you're doing everything because it's a little different. So I think Alex is quite similar to that, but Alex has got a lot more experience with actually selling magic after performances, which we're going to get to. But I do want to tell you all about my little journey, because I think some of you watching this never really knew that I actually started. I don't want to say started my career, but at some point in my career, I was actually demonstrating magic at certain shops. Now, I did perform for Michael, same like Martin. We had the same sort of boss, Michael, who's a friend of mine, actually. And he has a little shop in Camden Town, and he's inspired so many people to get into magic, but not as much as I think Alex or Nathan, or I think Marvin is probably one of the biggest influences for magic for the younger generation, apart from like BGT and all these TV shows that are introduced to magic. But these are people who've never seen magic before. They're walking around the streets of London, mainly tourists, especially in Covent Garden. It was my first place I performed, and I was working under a friend of mine called Long. And he was a guy from China who used to get magic props from there and then sell them at his little street-style store in Covent Garden. So that's when I started, and I started selling things like the D-Lights and dynamic coins, which I think Nathan will definitely go through a little demonstration about that at some point. And I was selling these things. So yes, my background is in selling magic. But Martin, tell us about your experience when people are passing by. How do you get their attention?
So basically, again, getting attention is not easy. You need something I've been working on for a long time, because you're not just showing your skills, I can do second or whatever. You need to bring them in. For example, I used to go to them and I say, open your hand, and get a magical light. For example, now I got them there, those stuff. Even older people don't know how, this is a young, but even older people. And I used to do a little bit light magic, and I have to point to them. Now, I didn't go to the price first, I just showed them some more. Okay. And then after magic light, Semigodic, which is obviously everyone knows it's the best card trick. And I could notice they're interested. And when they're interested, I moved the trick. I said, you do magic yourself. Now I moved to them, talking about them basically. So now it's not about me or the shop, it's about them now. So this is a very it took me a long time to figure out this why it's not like that, because the important thing is because people don't buy logic, the right emotions. If you make them a little bit laugh, if you make them happy, that's when you got them. So after when I do the performance, and I ask them, yeah, what's your name? Do you do magic yourself? How long you doing magic, or are you interested in stuff? So it's a long story, but after I try to don't make it myself. This is not about me, about the shop. Yeah, you're just a customer now. Just try to make them, you're my friend. This is basically demonstration. You know, you don't have to buy. You can just enjoy the magic, and that's it. So selling magic is not about, in my opinion, I might be wrong, but selling magic is not about how good you are. It's about how you can connect to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like, oh, if I do 7 guided with the nice flourishes, that's it. That was nothing. And then when I do very simple, slowly, maybe 5-4 faces, that's it. They're happy, because I want to make it. This is easy to do, because sometimes, oh, you've been doing it for 20 years. I said, no, I've been doing it for only 2 years, 3 years. So
you want to make it as easy as possible. So
yeah,
if I can do it, anyone can do it. So you got to cut down all the bit of flair and the style with it, and just go with basic props. Alex, do you have anything to add to that?
If you're selling magic, your performance needs to be perfect, because it needs to look easy to do. If it looks complicated, they're not going to buy it. It needs to look easy. It needs to be perfect, because they know that either they can do it or their son or daughter are going to be able to do it. So the performance is very, very important in making the sale.
Yeah, because I think it reminds me what Bruce told me a while ago. What you're doing is like the Aladdin story and the lamp. You are selling people the lamp. So you are not the genie. You are just Aladdin. And if anybody else has the lamp, they could also do the magic. All they got to do is know how to rub that lamp. And that's where the prop comes in. So let's go with Nathan. Nathan, would you like to show us a little demonstration? What would you like to go for? Svengali cards or dynamic coins?
Sure. I mean, I'll talk about this one and I'll demonstrate this one as well. But just to follow on from a few points, yeah. I mean, this is exactly why I was pretty much told to the drawing boards at first, because I've been doing magic prior to that. And again, if you start on something like dynamic coins or Svengali cards or things like the D-lights, because it's magic, you might end up making it look difficult, so to speak. And then that's the thing, that all these tricks are designed for people to be able to do pretty much straight out the box with some instructions. But yeah. This one is actually one of my favourite tricks, actually. And I'm sure, Brendan, you've got a few things to say about this as well. You're very into coin magic, aren't you, Brendan?
Yes, I love coin magic.
But to start with, I mean, this is great if you're just starting out in coin magic, the dynamic coins. Now, there's 3 reasons why I love this one, first of all. First reason, because it makes lots of lovely money. It's cool, right? Now watch, I'll do it again. Watch the money. Watch the stack of 10p's. They jump from here to there, just like so. Now watch, you can actually take the money and make it melt. So you can make solid melt all the way through solid. But this is my favourite bit. When you take the coins over here like this and you place them right on the table, you can take the cap, place it on top, and snap my fingers and watch. Amazingly, they change into pennies. You can even use any small currency you want. So you can use pennies, 20p's, even cents as well. So you can use it as a currency converter too. Yeah. And this is the dynamic coins. By itself, I believe it's like £19 as well if you get it from Harrods. Or, yeah, you can actually buy a set called the 50 Greatest Magic Tricks, where you get that and the Svengali cards, which I might demonstrate later on. But this is this is £15, I think, on its own. And if you get those two, it's like £32, which is the same price. So it's the same price for 2 as you would get with the 50 Greatest Magic Tricks, where you get the coins, the cards, and a lot of other tricks too. So that's the thing. There's also the upselling too. So it's better value to get a whole set.
Very good value, actually, and that's very good demonstration. What I like about the dynamic coins is it's ticking all the boxes in Magic, because it's got a lot of the basic effects. As you know, the coins appear, so it's got an appearance, it's got a vanish, it's got a transposition where it jumps from one place to another, it's got a transformation at the end to smaller points, and also a penetration where it passes right through. So it's sort of ticking all the boxes, and that's why something like this is so powerful. And also the bit at the end where you change the money. I've seen a lot of demonstrators do it in the kids' hands. So they ask them to hold the coins in their hands, and suddenly it changes into 20p's or pennies or whatever you want to go from there. So that's wonderful. Anyone wants to add something to that dynamic coin routine? Welcome.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's exactly how they would demonstrate it in Hamleys or Harrods. You know, Nathan's sticking to the script. I do it slightly. you know, great thing about the dynamic coins is you can present it however you want to.
True.
Okay. Yeah.
We have to drop the word performance, really. I think, I mean, because I mean, in terms of when you're a salesperson, it's all about it's demonstration. I think, isn't it? They always like to know it as a demonstration, because when you call it performance, then people start thinking it's like a magic show. So that's when you become a demonstrator, you get into that different mentality of it altogether. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
Because then they'll just watch the magic show and then they'll walk away like the street performer at the end when you're about to give your hat speech. That's when everyone disappears. So it's remember, so it's not about the performance, it's all about the product that you're selling and how easy and how good the product is, you know.
You could be selling anything.
Talk about the quality of the sorry.
So I was going to say, you could be selling anything.
Yeah, the close of the sale is the most important. That's why a lot of demonstrators put the products in the customer's hands, you know, multiple products. So take, because they're hoping that the end of the demonstration, they're going to walk away with that product to the till point.
So now I was going to say, these are people who are walking and strolling around shopping with their mums and dads, and these are obviously it's catered to younger children with this the design, but not all magic is like this. Now a lot of you watching at home are thinking, you know what, I'm a magician and I buy magic tricks, and there's certain companies like Sans Minds, there's all of these lately magic trailers that are being created just to entice magicians, and they'll have things like no strings attached or no magnets or whatever on the trailer, because they are marketing to magicians. But I don't want to go into more details about that. We could probably make another video about that. What I want to keep it is magic to people who have not, or just getting into magic, or just experiencing magic for the first time and selling to them. In fact, I want to ask Alex, because Alex, you perform your big stage shows, and after that you have a little stall at the side where you actually sell things after your show. So can you talk about that?
So in 2017, I was lucky enough to have a show at a theme park in the daytime as well as the evening, which gave me a captive audience to sell to after the show. So I'd have a magic stand set up with magic wands and posters and coin tricks and card tricks and DVDs for them to come and purchase a magic trick, and both in the daytime and the evening after the show, they had that opportunity to buy an easy to do magic trick.
Good stuff. I like that. So I think, Nathan, do you want to continue with another demonstration and we can take it from there? Would you like to demonstrate the classic Bengali cards?
Yeah, brilliant. You know, it's great hearing about different environments where people have demonstrated the certain tricks as well. Because having done different stores myself, like Hamleys and Harrods, like I would say there's different types of clientele you get depending on where you go. Like obviously, if you go to somewhere like Covent Garden, they're passing through the market. In the same way as if you're working in Hamleys, it's a toy shop, specifically aimed where children will come in to buy toys. Whereas in Harrods, for instance, it's a department store with, say, a toy department. So you get a very different feel for things. But I've talked before about the Svengali deck. So here you go. So you can see all the cards are different, all right? And Brendan, could you do me a favour? Any way you like, just say stop.
Stop.
Brilliant. Okay, so I just want you to remember that card.
Yep.
Okay. Now just cover the card up. Now I can show you that obviously the top card over here is not your card, Brendan, okay? That is the seven of clubs, not your card, right? But if we take the 7, all you do is you rub it over here, and first things first, look, it actually changes into your chosen card.
Great.
Now I'm going to leave that card sticking out of the deck so you can see it in plain view, and we'll take a different card now, which is the 5 of diamonds. So you've got the 3 here, the 5 here, the 5 goes underneath my hand, the 3 goes through my hand, and if I snap, I now have the 5 of diamonds, and on the table, the 3 of clubs. But this is where it gets really cool, okay? It's good, isn't it? Look, every single card is different, but watch. If I place the 3 of clubs on the deck and I snap my fingers, you can actually get another 3 of clubs. And if I click again, you get another one, and another one here. And oh, there's actually another one just about here. Oh, yeah, this is really weird. We're getting more 3 of clubs. Look, if I snap, you get another one and another one, until when you snap your fingers, just like so, you get every single card on the deck changing into the 3 of clubs. I'll show you, look, all the 3 of clubs. But to change it back, if I just move the 3 from the bottom to the top, and I snap, every single card actually changes back to normal one last time, except for the 3. That's because the 3 of clubs is actually the only card that I placed underneath the box. Or, sorry, no, not underneath the box, but inside the box over here. As you can see, one card only, the 3 of clubs. And there you go.
Great. I think
They're 50
after
pounds,
what,
I think.
yeah, I think after watching the dynamic coins and the Svengali cards, which is such a powerful effect in Magic, I don't think any kid will not try and worry their parents to buy them that. So yeah, great demonstration. Keeping it easy. And out of your experience, what was the most popular thing? I'm guessing Svengali cards for you, Nathan.
It depends on the day as well. Depends possibly where you worked, depending on So I think it's hard to say. I mean, in terms of the figures do up and down every single day, possibly depending on different products you do. But obviously, Magic is very popular. I mean, the drawing boards do really well, especially at Christmas time. They're great gifts. So I think it just depends on the day and also depends on the demonstrators selling them too. So some people might be better at one product than another. Some people may be really good generally, or some people may be no good at all, in which case they probably don't last very long. So
and Alex, what about you with your experience? What was the most popular thing you've sold?
I would probably say the lights and the sponge balls were very, very popular when I was in Harrods and Hamleys. I think because they're easy to do.
Yeah.
So, and with the sponge balls, you know, it's just two balls together. So.
Yeah, sponge balls is great because not only you're working on a prop, like a prop that does the magic for you, it's an introduction to a magician to actually do something in terms of the skill side of it. So that's a great thing of someone who's been into magic for a little while to move in from the basic things that are self-working tricks, you could say, to something like the sponge balls, which requires a little more practice and effort. Martin, what about you? What trick do you think you've sold most of?
Vanishing pen, pen through note, and seven golden obviously, and magic light. But the use I used to do it was different. Like for someone who used to do magic light, and I show my hand empty, and then boom, produce a sponge ball or something different.
Okay, so you can
but those
combine.
visual, those visual moments was making a difference. And sponge ball, not necessarily, because sponge ball again is something not very easy, but it's not very difficult. So if someone asks me, oh, I'm doing magic for maybe over 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm doing magic maybe 1 month, and I show them the sponge balls. But and also it was a blank deck actually. Do you remember the blank decks?
Yeah, we worked together a lot of the time.
That one.
So we used to cover
good.
for each other. For people who are watching, Martin and we used to have a little routine with the crystal ball. Martin also does a bit of contact juggling.
Yeah.
And I think I'm definitely going to do another video chat about contact juggling. And definitely Martin's going to be in that chat. And also if you're watching this and you do a bit of contact juggling, DM me when I put the post out. So definitely come back on and join in the conversation. But the last thing I want to touch about before we finish this chat is about what kind of magic are you allowed to sell? Now, if somebody watching this thinking, you know what, I want to actually go and open a shop in London and start selling magic. Then again, what can you sell? What is the rights? Can you just, if you created a trick, can you just sell that trick? Or could you actually sell somebody else's creations, which I personally don't think you should? I'll leave it up to you guys. Go ahead into this conversation. What do you all think?
Well, basically, obviously, if you have a shop like me and you can't just obviously sell like Sans Mind DVDs or other books or DVDs. But some tricks, like again, Seven Golden, which is worldwide, Seven Golden Day, coloring book, this kind of little kids and stuff as well.
So it's like a public domain thing. Anything that's in public domain, you can sell off.
Yeah, but obviously you don't want to give them at the card table book. Do you know what I mean? So this is
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nathan, Alex, anything about that? What kind of tricks?
Well, I mean, you would again, as you guys have said, as long as the tricks are either your own or in the public domain, then it's ethical. Then it's ethical to sell, basically. Like you wouldn't just sell someone else's trick. And for the most part, if you are selling things to the public, you want to sell them things that they can do, because that's the thing. They're not walking into a magic shop where they're looking for, say, the most advanced trick they can do, or looking for the next thing they're going to work with.
Yeah.
They want stuff that they can do, because again, you're selling to the general public, really. I mean, most people that come in are tourists, they pass by it and they see it, and often it's like an impulse buy, so to speak. So they see it, they haven't intended to buy it in the first place, but they think, hey, that's cool, and I'll buy it, and then their magic journey kicks off. So you never know.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're in a magic shop and you're on the streets, because for me personally, I felt really bad doing things, or sorry, selling things that other people actually make their career on. Even sponge balls, I felt bad actually demonstrating and selling sponge balls. In our shop, we had chop cups, we had invisible decks and everything like that on the streets. And I personally, behind the counter, I just didn't want to demonstrate this stuff to the Joe public. I just kept it to delights. When they asked me what's that, I said, oh yeah, that's a little more advanced magic or whatever. And I try to avoid that. But that's just me personally. I think obviously if you show somebody some of these other effects and they go amazing and they'll buy that, but then again I felt that was just revealing tricks. So me personally, I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, there's a big difference between a self-working magic trick and doing the moves. You know, there's a select group of magic tricks like the dynamic coins, like the Svengali cards. Those type of tricks are self-working magic tricks for the public to do. That's fine. But if they want to learn sleight of hand or moves, then they're going to have to learn a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Where did Martin go? He disappeared and he's back in again. Okay. So there we go. So thank you everyone for watching this on YouTube. I hope you all enjoy this video. And if you do want to come down and join me at some of these chats in the next few videos, it will always be mentioned on my Instagram story. So keep a lookout for that. See a topic that you like, DM me, and I'll send you a link to the Zoom conversation. And then we film it and we put it up on YouTube. So thanks everyone for doing this. Martin, you are sideways. That's all right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And he's gone again.